Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All. This is the series in which I talk about politics and how cool the Democratic Party is. I love Democrats. I'm a Democrat. I'm not a socialist. I'm not a plutocrat. I'm a Democrat. Back me up, Joe. Anyway, so the Gray Zone and Code Pink demand emergency OAS, Organization of American States, election observers in 2020 Democratic national or presidential primary. So real quick, you may hear the dog in the background. She's having a good time. Real quick, the OAS is not good. They orchestrated a coup in Bolivia just a few months ago. And basically, they're pretty terrible guys. I would much prefer like a UN monitor or whatever. However, I think really the message being sent here is the important bit. So ignore the fact that the OAS is not a great organization by any means. But with that in mind, there are a lot of issues. There's a ton of issues. The most notable that I highlighted was the coin tosses. In Iowa, if Bernie got like 30% more votes than Buttigieg, they got the same amount of delegates because of a coin toss. In some instances, Pete would get more delegates with less votes because of these coin tosses. And there were videos of like someone like looking at the coin and deciding to put it on their thing, or what is this? Oh, let me look at the coin. Oh, well, I guess I'll just look at it, embarrassing. I made a video about this before. Texas voter suppression really fucked up. They closed polling places in a lot of minority-heavy areas, a lot of areas with growing minority populations. Like, as the minority population grows, the polling places go down. I'm trying to do a graph here with my hands, but it's not orchestrated well. And it's just, honestly, it's a fuckload of shit. I've also got this thread of screenshots here of exit poll disparities. So if you look, Biden's been consistently gaining a shit ton from exit polling versus the final tally. Keep in mind, the final tally is handled by the Democratic Party, right? So they've got the means, and they've certainly got the motive, and they most definitely have the opportunity. So how come Sanders, minus 12%, Biden, 16.2%, Sanders, minus 6%, Biden, plus 8%, Sanders, where's this one, minus 11.8%, Biden, plus 1%, Sanders, minus 11%. It's always like similar numbers, you know what I mean? Isn't that weird? Isn't that just really fucking weird? That Sanders is consistently 11 points down from exit polling over to the final vote tally? Isn't that really fucking weird? There's lots of other instances of exit poll disparities, voter suppression, and so forth. But it's just weird. I'm just saying, it's weird. So we'll see how this goes. But goddamn, you know what I mean? Like, clearly they're rigging this primary. Clearly it was rigged last time. There's a lot of people who pretend that it's not rigged, and they'll say like, oh, well, it's not necessarily rigged against Sanders. It's just that everyone's political beliefs line up, and therefore, no. Shutting down polling places, that's rigging the system. I'm sorry. It should not be this difficult to vote. There are people standing in line for 7 hours in California. Are you kidding me? No, they're not kidding me. It's disgusting. Anyway, definitely want to keep aware of this kind of stuff and see what happens. But it's not good, folks. Believe me.